So here is the Tony Brooks analysis of the golf swing of James. And here's a picture of Tony Brooks. Tony, of course, is with Lion Golf Academy. It's a very good YouTube website. You should check it out. And on most Sunday nights, he has a red light live golf swing analysis show. You can take some video of yourself, front and down the line, regular speed, send it to info@liongolfacademy.com. Tony will look at your swing. Problem with James was thin and topped iron shots.
Okay, Stephen, this is Stephen's son-in-law. I think we're going through the whole family. I don't know how many more son and daughters-in-law you have, but keep sending it to me. Let's see. James is his name. James is my son-in-law, Savannah's husband. Played basketball, not much golf. Often topped shots or hits them thin. Savannah's husband, this is another email. Baseball player in the past, thin shots, top shots, tends to overswing. You have his permission. Thank you. Hopefully he's watching this, Stephen. If not, hopefully you can show him the recording or put it on your channel too. And go check out Stephen's channel as well if you haven't already. Okay, so let's look at the swing and see what we have. And Stephen, I noticed that this one here, it's sent when it's on the downswing. So you can see it starts on its downswing. So we'll look at that one, but I can probably go over a lot of this information with this side because it's such a great camera or great video. So I can see, yeah, that even there you see, I think he tops this ball. I'm not too sure, but let's back it up and see. Does he top this one? Yeah, you can see he tops it right on the top there. The ball doesn't get up. Okay, yeah. So typically with tops, you're either hanging back too much, your shoulder tilt is incorrect. You got to level your shoulder tilt out to make sure you swing down. Let's see what Stephen says here. Baseball player, amateur golfer, every swing is a home run swing. Yes. I like that aggressiveness. We don't want to take that away from anybody. It's nice to have aggressive motions, but controlled aggression, much like life. So let's take a look and do our normal. Barney purple? Nah, it's too hard to see in these streams here. So there's the shoulder tilt. We see that spine angle relative to the shoulder tilt. So a little bit of back pressing here related to that shoulder tilt. It's ball position might be a little too far forward, Stephen. So you might want to take a look at that ball position. This is closer to like a driver setup. So this is probably why he has a hard time hitting down on it, because if he tries to hit down on it, he has to get his center point over to that green line while he strikes it. And he will have to lose shoulder tilt or else he will start hitting it heavy. So let's see what he does. Let's go straight now to impact and see what happens. So a lot of weight shift. So now look how much he's got to get his whole upper body from this position all the way. That's exaggerated, obviously, but all the way to that green line, that center point. And he doesn't necessarily, he returns back to where he was, right? So that's a pretty good motion in terms of sideways. At least he can figure out where he started from. So that's good. But as he strikes it, it's just he's not over enough. So a couple ways you can fix this, Stephen. The quick way is to just keep everything the same. And from the top of the swing, get him to feel like he's really going over to his right side. But that could create some other issues. So, my style. I'm all about changing your setup, changing the way you get ready to hit the golf ball to give you the better chance to utilize your motions. We have an athlete here, so let's take advantage of that hand-eye coordination. So ideally, if you look at that shoulder tilt as it gets down to the impact, so we definitely see that increase of shoulder tilt, which obviously pushes his spine angle further back. Now, when it's further back, there's really no way to hit down on the golf ball from here unless he extends his hands and releases even sooner. But even then, it's a crapshoot. He could hit perfectly down. He could top the ball, or he could hit it fat because this angle is so tilted. So let's redraw this to make sense here. Let's draw this spine angle and our circle and perpendicular. So if you take a look where that golf ball is, so let's draw now our golf ball line. Let's use our, what are we paying? $9 a month. Let's use our vertical lines. Okay, so that golf ball is actually pretty good in his axis. I mean, you can see it's right in his axis, but however, it's not, it's, you can see the path of his hands is swinging more up. So what does he have to do at this point? He has to throw those hands to try and get down to that golf ball. Not a good thing to happen because you release all your conservation of angular momentum at that point. You're releasing the power that you built up with that great rotation and the tilting. So again, this is probably a really good driver swing. He could probably hit the driver pretty well. Let's see what James has to say here. I have never sought out outside perspective. I have been following you for months. If I shoot a video, if I shoot you a video to your email, we going to go through those today? I'm open to hearing some constructive comments. James, go ahead and send it to me at info@liongolfacademy.com. Worst case, I won't have a show next week because I'm actually teaching down in my San Diego facility. One of my coaches is going out of town, so I have to go cover his schedule. Let's see if we can get it done today. If not, worst case is going to have to be in a couple weeks. But send it to me, and we'll see what we can do there. All right, so back to this one. So our goal is to try and level out this tilt and move that ball position more to the center of his chest, because if we draw a center line from where his chest is, we can see that it's still behind the ball. So things aren't really lining up to strike down, which is why he's having a hard time with tops. I imagine he doesn't top every shot. He probably times the hands perfectly, and he can hit one decent every blue moon. But I can see why most of these can be tops, with the occasional heavy one too. So we've got to sync these up, and the best way to sync these up is to limit the shoulder tilt, get the golf ball more connected to the center of the axis, and then start from there. So let's go to the beginning of the swing here. So we're going to draw the old ball position in red. Okay, so anything red is going to be old. New ball position. Let's first figure out our shoulder tilting. So this. Obviously, the left shoulder is going to be further down just because the left hand is lower on the placement. So that's a natural tilt. So keep the tilting where it is. So that tilting is going to be fine. If we can put the ball position, Stephen, change the ball position slightly so it is more running right through the spine, right about there. This would at least, now what might happen too is by doing this, you might see the shoulder tilt kind of flatten out a bit because he's tilting to reach that ball position, if that makes sense to you. His left shoulder is working its way down to get those hands this way to reach that ball position. So you might find that by moving the ball position right in the center of his chest, this tilting might actually get less, which is fine. So we have less shoulder tilt, which might occur. Everything's more neutral. And so now what we've done is we've brought that circle again more down. Well, that's a horrible circle. More down. Right. So now we're actually working on a level playing field. So if we go ahead and perpendicular that there, now we're swinging more down. Right. So now we've adjusted that circle. So we're going to give it our best shot to swing down. Now he naturally goes left, which is okay. Right. We've seen a lot of good players get a lot of weight distribution left. I don't know. You want to try this first. Just change the setup, so put everything more neutral. Let him go to his left side and go back through because that's what he naturally wants to do. You don't want to take away natural tendencies and see if that'll help. It might just be a simple ball position change because as an athlete, he sees the ball there. He's going to try everything in his power to generate power, turn, tilt. But if that ball's in the wrong place, he's going to be struggling. So first change of ball position. Check that shoulder tilt. That might neutralize the shoulder tilt. If he still struggles with topping, have the next move not sway as much, not get so much lateral motion. Just turn and turn. Let's give that a try. Hopefully that does help. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense here. We'll do +3 handicap. I'm looking to get into the sim room this week and start knocking out some rust. This dude you are covering right now has some decent moves. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. You can see, I love working with ex-baseball players. The baseball swing, the golf swing are so similar. It's just played on a different plane, obviously. who was that one guy you see hit home runs from the dirt? I think Vladimir Guerrero, right, from the Angels, where the guy would pitch in the dirt, he'd still pick it out of the dirt and hit it out of bounds or over the field. So I love playing with baseball players because you can use some of their motions. So give that a try, James. Give that a try, and then let me know how it goes. If you need an updated video once you get this setup changed, go ahead and send me an updated video. Give it a couple of weeks to get used to this, and then we'll see what happens. So hopefully that helps you. This down the line, unfortunately, I mean, we can try and look at the down the line and see what happens, but it's just caught in the middle. But you can see even here, I mean, there's no way he's swinging down. He's swinging up at this point. So, that's the hands are trying to throw to help him, but the tilting's wrong. I mean, the tilting's not designed for an iron. You don't want to be tilting so far up that there's just no way. Even if you hold your angles, there's no way to even strike down, because at the time you're holding your angles, your hands are moving so far up, you can't go hands go up while your club goes down. It just doesn't make much sense. So you just got to get your angles sorted out with the tilting. Let's see. Setup is so important. Absolutely. Setup is the biggest thing that is overlooked. Now, specifically ball placement, ball position. I've seen so many swings that have decent motions, but because that ball position's all over the place, you've got to just compensate in trying to hit that golf ball. And the more you are an athlete, the more you get away with things, and the harder it is to convince athletes because they get away with things. But the problem is you're robbing yourself of consistency. So you really, really got to focus on grip placement, how that grip placement affects your natural tendencies, ball position. And yes, you can play competitive golf with the ball way out on your left side, way out on your right side. Doesn't matter. Obviously, it works for you. But when I see compensations like this, and you can just tell, hey, the ball position isn't favoring this person's ability, let's switch it up and get him a more neutral position. That'll help him out. But yeah, you're totally correct. Ball position is very, very important. I hope that helps you.
So you want to hit up on the ball with a driver, especially when it's on a tee. However, you need to hit down on the ball with an iron. And so, for James, to avoid the thin and top shots, he should try moving the ball back to the middle of the stance at address. That's really important. Try a little less shoulder tilt with iron shots. That can help. And if he's still having problems, try less sway to the trail side on the backswing. And he'll be able to hit down on the ball with an iron. So thanks to Tony for the analysis. This is Stephen Vig in San Antonio, and thanks for watching.